Hello, everybody, and welcome to the aftermath of AEW Collision. Yes, folks, say it with me. After the collision, we sift through
Wreckage.
the Wreckage. Brought to you by channelattitude.com. Please subscribe for $5 a month in the Hameen Media Group. This is the Wreckage. I'm Christopher Ambs, and usually you'd hear me do this whole thing about my last name. I'm not doing it because I'm putting as much effort into this show as the company put into this show. So, hi, Jimmy.
Hi, how are you boys? Good? Any good? How's it hanging? Is it to the left, to the right? It doesn't really matter, but thank you for allowing me to be back. Right here.
A little bit to the right.
Oh, damn it, bro. Come on, man. Anyway, forget I even asked that question. We're here to sift through the wreckage. And boy, there was a bit of wreckage. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be back, man.
There's a fair bit of wreckage. Hi, Vet.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there.
Hi.
I always put in 100% effort for the people.
Yay. Well, Jesus Christ. I guess first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Did you care to?
Gary?
I'm just kidding. There's no actual elephant in the room. I mean, what I mean is, did anybody watch this show? Because it was up against. Oh, you do have an actual elephant in the room. But did anybody actually watch this show? Because it was up against SmackDown, and it didn't do well.
What was the actual ratings? Do you know? What was the difference?
I want to say it was 270,000 versus 2 million something for SmackDown.
Holy shit! Really? Wow, that's got to be the lowest, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah.
Heck, has Rampage even gotten that low?
Well, Rampage is on in its normal time slot. And this is not. This is not even on the right day. So,
and that's not
course,
because
that
any...
happens everything. Dude, let's who cares? The show did suck,
True.
but that's beside what day it was on, because when SmackDown goes to FS1, they did a 1.1. So,
yeah,
that's 50% of their audience gone. Right. So, like, when you move a show off its day and someone tunes, if you're an idiot that's still watching TV live and you move a show that you like to watch off its day and you go to turn it on and it's not there, you just assume it's not on that day.
Yep.
And it's their fault,
and if there's going to be a bunch of people that there's going to be about 200 or 300 more thousand people that are going to tune into TNT expecting to see Collision, and they'll be like, they'll be like, okay, I guess it's not on.
I guess wrestling's not on this week.
Yep, that's what real people, wrestling fans that don't spend their lives on Twitter actually do. They turn on what they expect to be on. When they don't see it, they move on with their lives.
100%.
So,
facts. Word
up, homie. All right, well, I guess we can talk a little bit about Full Gear maybe when we're done discussing Collision, but is there anything to really talk about in the world of professional wrestling that we haven't already covered 100 times? Jimmy?
Well, the ostrich in the room, Chris.
Oh, yeah, right. The big reveal from Full Gear, the giant signing. It was a huge, shocking shock signing. Just electrocution flying all over the place with the electricity and the shock. Just super, super shocking. And it was that they signed Will Ostrich.
I love how you call him that. Will Ostrich. Didn't Cornette call him that actually originally?
Probably.
It was Cornette. I'm pretty sure.
It's not a stretch. Or a stretch.
Good one. That's a good one, Ben.
William Ostrich Spray. That's his name.
What would you say? William Ostrich Spray? Is that what you called him?
He's got a hyphenated last name. His parents
he's gone from a smaller bird. Oh, I see. So he's gone from a small bird to a big bird.
He's an ostrich spray. Anyway, yeah, they signed him, which is cool. And that's hot off their last major, gigantic, shocking signing, which was Kota Ibushi.
Meanwhile, some famous mixed martial artists have appeared on Ring of Honor tapings.
That's true. Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
But let's not announce that.
No.
Oh well.
We wouldn't want to tell anyone about a mainstream athlete who legitimately sold tens of millions of pay-per-views when she was an active fighter. We wouldn't want to tell anyone that we signed. Who cares? We signed Will Ostrich Spray. That's who needs the entrance.
Who's been hanging out here constantly for the past year.
Yeah.
That's true. As a matter of fact, did you see her get dropped on her head at an indie show yesterday?
Who?
I'm talking about Ronda Rousey, that is.
No.
Speaking
She got
of
dropped on
their
their head.
head.
She got dropped on their head, right.
Speaking of dropped on their head, did we see that match with Neck Strong getting dropped on his neck?
Oh, yes, that was bad.
That was fun.
Damn, that happened
bad,
when I
dude.
chose to not pay attention for a moment. I heard about it later, like after the fact. I heard that he had a scare, and I was like, I don't remember that. But in fairness to me, I saw Roderick Strong and I hit fast forward. So
that's as one does.
Mm-hmm.
As one does. Anyway, I guess we can get into the show. And it begins with something, pretty decent actually. It was this was
Elton
good.
John.
Yeah, Elton John. I maintain it should be the Nickelback version that we use to open this show up, but I mean,
it's
whatever.
The Elton John is the flex. Yeah, we've got Elton John money.
I guess that's right.
You know it is.
You've got so much money that you can. You got so much money that you can sign Ronda Rousey and then not advertise it.
Yeah.
Wait, is she officially signed though, boys?
Who knows? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she's signed or not. It's why would you tape something and everybody's gonna leak it anyway? You know that,
right? What would you debut on friggin' Ring of Honor of all places too, man?
We need people to sign up for Honor Club.
Yeah. No one was going to sign up to Honor Club, even with Ronda Rousey in Ring of Honor. Just say, I'm telling you, it's not going to make a difference.
That's
even though I think she is a draw, she is a draw to an extent, but I don't think anyone would give a shit if she's in Ring of Honor, like straight up.
No, it's not important. Not important at all. We wouldn't want to do anything that might get people interested. That would be shocking. We need to have 18-minute matches with people who shouldn't be in the ring for more than 5. It's good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right. Well, tonight's not tonight's. Friday, was it Friday? Friday's Collision was coming to us from Los Angeles, California, and the beautiful forum where the world-shaking Los Angeles Lakers play. They're just so good.
You mean back in the fucking 80s?
Yeah. All right.
Back is a badass fact.
Right. So nobody actually interesting does anything in that arena. Okay. So Christian Cage is up next, up to start. He begins the night in the ring with Tony Schiavone. He comes out with Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne. He says that Full Gear won't only be Sting's last match in Los Angeles, it'll be the last match of his career. And Cage says, but don't worry, Darby Allin, if you ever need guidance, you know where to go. Because Christian's everyone's dad.
Father of the year, man.
Father of the year. Booker of the year, Father of the year. He told Ric Flair that if he got involved in Cage's business, it would be a literal come to Jesus moment. As in, I will introduce you to Jesus because you will die.
Big words from a big father.
Yeah. He says that Adam Copeland, I don't, who's that? Who is Adam Copeland? What is he talking about?
Not sure. Are you sure he wasn't talking about Adam?
That's the drummer for the Police.
The drummer for the Police. Okay. I think he was trying to sell Edge.
For the Police? Does that include Sting as the lead singer?
Oh my God.
Yeah. See that?
Does.
Shit. Wow. Unbelievable.
This is the quality entertainment you come to HMG for, guys. This is why you subscribe to channelattitude.com.
Does Tony Khan have police money?
He might.
Okay.
Clearly,
Retro
it
Rocket
costs too
Review.
much.
Retro Rocket Review in the chat, by the way, says Adam Copeland was a classical composer, which I also would believe.
That's Aaron Copeland, by the way.
Oh,
Aaron.
That's why he's the vet, folks. He even knows composers.
He even
Yes,
knows his
I'm a
composers.
man of class and taste.
He knows his composes.
Oh shit!
Quote Jimmy T.
I'm impressed.
All right. Well, he says that Edge only came to AEW to steal a spotlight. He was coddled and protected. Cage had to fight for everything he got in his career. I mean, that's kind of true. A lot of people did kind of peg Adam as the star and Christian as the, the lesser, known part of that tag team. But I actually personally think the Christian's a better worker than Edge anyway. But that's sort of an underground wrestling, idea. Not a lot of people in I'm just kidding. Most people who are actually really involved in wrestling are like, Christian's way better. Edge is fine, but like.
Hey, well, the truth is, he does get praise like that from all sorts of veterans, man. So there's some truth to that. You know what I mean? Heck, he's even the guy that started the what chant for Stone Cold. That's a fact.
I know. It was we all know that. He left a message on Stone Cold's like answering service or whatever and did that, where he just went, I'm traveling down the road. What? I'm traveling down the road with Adam here. What? And we're going to what? And Stone Cold famously took it and ruined wrestling forever. So
yeah, true.
Christian just never stops getting heat.
Never. Yeah. He's the worst. He's the best at being the worst. I love it. All right. He then compares himself to and this was great. He compares himself to James Harden. He says, I also don't work within a system. I am the system, which, wow. It's just heel. Just the most heel thing in the world to say, because James Harden is a fucking goof. And people in Los Angeles don't currently like James Harden very much. Did you know that, Vet?
No.
Yeah, they're angry with him.
Well, I can't keep track of what team James Harden is getting passed around to, so
that's fair enough.
I'm a little behind.
Yeah.
That's actually fair enough, literally.
Yeah. Speaking of a little behind, James Harden keeps getting passed around. By teams, I mean. By teams, from team to team. That sounds worse.
Okay.
Just kidding. All right.
So he's the opposite of a dark sky.
Yeah, he's not like dark sky. He's more like Page. He gets passed around a lot.
Oh. Which Page though?
Oh.
The Page. The Page. What's her
There's
name?
a few pages.
Soraya.
That Page. Oh.
Yeah.
Not Diamond Page. Psoriasis. And not Christian Cage, or sorry, that's the wrong Cage. That's
Hangman
Page we're talking about. But anyway, Hangman Page.
Yeah, that guy.
I saw a picture of him getting hung at the Full Gear pay-per-view. I'll have to check that out later.
He sure did a lot of violence. I'm not going to say he had a match. They did a lot of violence to each other. Some people really liked it. I didn't. I didn't care.
I saw your praises actually online, Chris.
Did you?
Well,
did
not praises, but I saw it.
It's like, what the fuck is this? The crowd is literally sitting on their fucking hands waiting for the next violent spot. There's no interest in what's happening in the match. The crowd was just like, oh, yeah. There's like, like the polite murmurs you get from a crowd where they're like, oh yeah, no, we don't want to seem like we're being quiet, but we're really not interested. But like, yay, X-Pac is back. Yay.
Our very own MSG absolutely loved it, apparently. So, yeah.
Yes, he did. And listen, I've been wrong before too, and it's okay. And it doesn't make you a worse person.
That's right.
Shots fired.
that whole fucking, I'm sorry, man, but that whole fucking match at the pay-per-view was just, here's a violent spot, and now we will set up for the next violent spot. And now we will set up for the next violent spot. Look, I will go through a plane of glass. Okay, that spot is done. Now let's stand up and I will put you through a table. Okay, that spot is done. Now let's do the thing with the cinder block.
Oh god.
This is the Stephen Hawking narration. You know, the guy with the wheelchair.
Fuck me. Felt like Stephen Hawking could have had this match with somebody who was patient enough with him. It was just violence for the sake of violence. I don't get why that's popular with people, but
In your estimation, Chris, do you think that this has anything to do with the fact that perhaps the crowd wasn't as into it because you know, this whole shit is phony and nobody believes it, and that's why no one cares, because you just know that all they're doing is like, you know, like they're simulating the violence. No one believes what they're looking at, so it's not that impressive. I didn't watch it, so I can't speculate. That's why I'm asking, in your opinion, like, do you think that played a part in it?
Yeah, absolutely. And also they did wrong things, and they were expecting different reactions from it. So at one point, Hangman stapled a picture that his son had drawn on, but it's like, oh yeah, look, he's getting back at Swerve for the, but that's not how a real person would react in that situation. Like a real person would react in that situation. And I mean, listen, I'm not saying that he was my favorite worker of all time, and I realize I'm comparing him to one of the greatest of all time here too, right? But Stone Cold Steve Austin, nobody believed that Stone Cold Steve Austin really hated Vince McMahon, right? But when they had their matches, it wasn't, okay, Vince, stand up now. I'm going to bring you over here, and now I'm going to give you a pile driver, and now we're going to stand up, and I'm going to do the next violent thing. Stone Cold jumped on a motherfucker and punched until the fucking referee got him off of him, right? Like that's how people really react in violent situations, is to be like uncontrollably violent. And I had this match was violent. Don't get me wrong. It was violent, but there was a sense of control to it. There was a sense of like, we're doing the next spot now. And it just, for me, watching it, I don't hate violence if you can tell me a proper story with it, right? But there are some times where I'm watching a match and I'm just going, I don't get this. I don't understand. Like, you're doing the violent thing here, but how fucking set up did you have to make this? Do you know what I mean? Like, you had to carefully plan this whole thing in order to put each other through this fucking plate glass or whatever. But why is the plate glass there? Well, how did you get the plate glass? Where did it come from, and who brought it to the ring? Why did they bring it to the ring? It makes me ask 100,000 questions, right? If you want to get across real violence, there has to be a sense of unpredictability and a sense of, you can't contain me right now, right?
Well,
But it just felt so contained.
Well, maybe Swerve or Hangman went to Home Depot and got some glass.
Yeah.
They clearly
did.
Yeah.
They sure did. Which just screams uncontrollable. They
waited in line with their big pane of glass on one of those carts that you have to set.
That's right. Well, first of all, they went to Home Depot. They had to tell everybody at the front door, no, I don't need any help. I don't need any help today. Thank you. I'm just coming to get some stuff. No, I'm installing the pane glass myself. Thank you. Gracias Juan. I can do it myself. Then they went into the Home Depot. Then they went to the glass section and they were looking around. They're like, "Fuck, I can't find the glass that I need." Tony said that we need to that we really, really can't do real glass anymore. Like, the one time was real bad. So like, fuck, like where's the? Hey, excuse me, sir, do you work here? Oh, you just walk around with an apron? Okay, never mind. I'll find somebody who actually works here. Sir, do you work here? Oh, you do. Okay, I need to find a pane of glass, but I need to find one that's made of like sugar glass kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you've got some in the back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we all do. At Home Depot, yes.
Do they sell sugar glass at Home Depot?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they would, right?
Anyway, then he stood in line for 15 minutes to pay for his ping glass, and then he got to his car and he was like, "Shit, I should have got a fucking truck. How am I gonna get this
He
fucking
got
thing
the
home?"
he did use the company credit card too, right? Like he didn't pay for it out of his own pocket.
Nah, of
No,
course he didn't. Come on.
absolutely. Absolutely. That was on Tony Khan's dime for sure.
At the very least, he'll send him an invoice like, okay, this is what you need to take out of the budget, the glass budget.
All of this just screams uncontrollable violence, right? All of this is just very
EC dub. EC dub.
EC dub.
Yeah.
Fuck me, EC dub. Like, honestly, man, people who watched ECW probably cringed at this shit because it's like, oh, look, violence, but with none of the story.
True. I mean, to ECW's credit, there was actually story. So, you're right.
They didn't just all of a sudden have Sandman show up one day and like because it was on the match card, Raven crucified him.
That was a bad time for the wrestling business, apparently, Chris.
No, it wasn't.
That got a lot of heat. That caused Kurt Angle, to get the fuck out. He's like, fuck this bingo shit.
Well, okay, so, back to Christian Cage's promo, which I thought that this was the least entertaining Christian's been in on quite some time. I just couldn't wait for this to be over. And again, it was on fast forward. So he was going through it at double the speed, which sounded normal to me. So that was bad. That just shows you how slow he was saying everything. And I just wanted this to end. But he was probably, in fairness to him, he was probably pulling some time because they know he can.
Also, might have been one of the most entertaining things on this show, which should tell you something about how terrible this fucking show was. All right. So next up, we've got a backstage segment. Ricky Starks and Big Bill backstage with Lexi Nair. Sparks spoke to Tony Khan, complaining that it was unfair to be in a match where they didn't even have to be pinned to lose their titles. So instead, they were allowed to pick a stipulation, and the stipulation that they picked was that it's going to be a ladder match so that they can lose the titles by someone else grabbing the titles and them still not being pinned. What?
Yeah, nothing Ricky Stark said made any sort of sense. Also, did I miss the part where he gets to just pick a stipulation for no reason, or was there actually like why is he picking a stipulation? Why is Tony Khan allowing him to pick a stipulation? Why is he approving this stipulation? Besides the fact that he approves, company paid for glass at Home Depot and everything like that. But why? Did I miss it? You don't have to answer these. These are all rhetorical. I just want to know if I missed something.
No, the explanation, because AEW is a pretty good explanation.
That's the Todd Brantley standby. Yes.
Yeah, it's true. But according to Ricky, it was because he went and complained. He said, "What? How is it fair that we're in a match where we can lose the championships without even being pinned? Therefore, I decided to make it a match where we can lose the championships without even being pinned."
Yeah. Right, exactly. If you're telling me Ricky Starks is a moron, that's actually pretty funny. I don't know if that's where they're going with it. Also, why wouldn't you just campaign to not be in a triple threat or four-way or whatever the match was? I don't even know. That's how bad they are at doing this. I don't know what kind of a match they were in.
Yeah, I have an idea for a stipulation that would make sense given my complaints just now, Tony. If whoever wins the match, if they pin us, they get the titles. But if they don't pin us, they become the number one contenders, and we have to face them in a 2-on-2, regular match at the next pay-per-view. It's not perfect, but at least it makes sense according to what I'm fucking complaining about.
God, Chris, how long did it take you to come up with that?
Just completely off the spot, like right off the dome. Freestyling like a motherfucker.
Wow. Be rabbit.
I thought this shit was hard. I don't know. For some reason, I got the impression this was very difficult business to be in.
That's
everybody's always talking about how hard it is, and you know, how stressful and all these things, and it just seems like I don't know.
I've
Seems
got
like it might not
Cry Me a
be.
River in my head.
Yeah, it's a good song, actually. It's a good song. It's like one of many
Real
songs.
glass.
It's like one of many songs from like the last like 20 years or so that are like sneak disses on other people, but like not in rap form. Like that's a sneak diss on Britney Spears, who, I mean, to be fair, Britney Spears is pretty mentally unstable, so like,
You think?
you know, maybe she was crying because she was mentally unstable, Justin. Don't be so rude, but also kind
Yeah,
of funny.
Justin. Damn it.
Also kind of funny. Because there's nothing funnier than mental illness, huh? Just kidding. I am joking. My ex-wife is severe bipolar. I understand the seriousness of it. I'm kidding.
Careful.
Okay.
Careful. Repeat
Everybody
that one more
fucking
time.
relax.
Right, there we go.
Right. Okay. Up next, we have Miro and Daniel Garcia.
Miro the Barbarian.
Oh my god.
Or was it Miro the Berserker?
I wish it was Miro the Fall Taker. It was Miro the punching bag. Miro the
Repo Man.
take 42% of the offense and then get the win in a sneak way, in spite of the fact that I am a giant, monstrous barbarian of a human being. Why the fuck are they not booking this guy as their Brock Lesnar? Why are they not booking him as a serious threat? Because if you watch this match, you would have sworn that Daniel Garcia like was this close. He was this close to beating Miro in this match. It was such a tough match. It was so hard for Miro to beat Daniel fucking Garcia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Daniel Garcia has got that it's that thing you just can't replicate. He's got all that main event experience that Miro just doesn't have. How many main events has Miro been in his life? You can count all the companies. He just can't, you know, he doesn't know what it's like when the lights shine the brightest and the stage is the biggest, you know. He doesn't know. He drove a tank once. Big deal. Daniel Garcia's been in
at WrestleMania, no less.
Yeah, at least a dozen main events though. That was not a WrestleMania main event where he drove a tank. That was like the opening sort of match. So that's you know, that's what gave Daniel Garcia the edge in this, and he almost pulled it out because he's been there. You know, he knows
and done that, vet.
Yeah, I was thinking like, you know, what's taking Daniel Garcia so long is what I was actually thinking. This guy is barely ever even here. And when we see him, he's like standing at a monitor watching, you know, people mess around with his wife. So like, as Chael Sonnen says, you don't get better at something by not doing it. Daniel Garcia's out there in main events every week. So, you know, I think you should really consider that, Chris, before you give your analysis.
Yep.
Right. No, you're right. You know what? When you're right, you're right. I'm sorry, Vet.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to young Daniel.
I am sorry, Vet, and I am sorry, young Daniel, young veteran Daniel, with all of your
main
years
event,
of experience.
Daniel.
Main event, right? Main event, Daniel Garcia. I'm sorry. Lo siento, Danielle Garcia.
Danielle Garcia. You talking about Danny Garcia, The Rock's ex-wife?
The Rock's ex-wife, yes. Apologies to her, too.
Hey, have you seen how big she is now? She's bigger than the bloke Garcia, that's for sure. Tank.
Yeah.
Not. I'm pretty sure everyone on this stream is also bigger than the bloke Garcia, since he's
yeah. Plus, how are you going to get the XFL locker room to take you seriously? You know, you gotta
fair call.
Yeah,
fair. Yeah. So very fair.
Yeah, I will still say, Daniel, you know, doing everything right. Obviously, you almost took down, you know, the Redeemer, but you know, still 250 push-ups a day. Just keep at it. You're not going to see results from my advice to now that quick, but you know, after we'll revisit this in another 6 weeks, and then another 6 weeks. Yeah, you know, main event after main event after main event. Yep.
That's right. Listen, you do 200 push-ups a day. You're like, first of all, day 3 is going to be very difficult for you. But if you can do it, if you can break through it all and keep doing it, 200 push-ups a day, you're going to see some serious size in your shoulders and your arms, like, pretty quick.
Like Daniel
This whole
Garcia's size?
area is going to get big. Like,
Even bigger.
Like, even bigger than Daniel
Even
Garcia.
bigger, Jimmy,
Wow.
yeah.
Damn, I'm impressed.
And that's why I threw in that extra 50.
right.
Because he
I
really
see.
needs to accelerate that process.
Yeah, he's
And
got to really
then-
push to. He's already hit like most people's natural wall. He's got to push through it and get to the next.
Right.
Yo,
And then-
right.
Right. And then, you know, plus the pro tip, right? This is for everybody, not just Daniel, not just young Daniel. You don't have to do 250 in a row.
Oh,
Just make sure you get your 250 in every day. And you break that up
No
however
way.
you need to.
mind
So
blown.
do like 10
shit.
an hour, right? You're fine.
10 an hour.
Yeah.
Damn,
Right.
that's tough. That's really tough. Hats off
Super tough.
to young Daniel,
Anyway,
the push-up king.
Matt Menard was upset afterwards because Garcia, he was gonna dance, and then he told him not to dance, and then he danced and he lost. So Menard was upset.
Menard.
Nobody
What a
continues
stupid
to
name.
care about Matt Menard. Poor guy. Anyway,
Yeah.
Andrade El Idolo and CJ Perry were backstage with Lexi Nair. Andrade says that he is happy with Perry's management. Perry announced that she had entered Andrade into the Continental Classic, which Andrade was like, "Really? You entered me into this and you did not tell me.
Gracias.
Why you do not tell me?" And then they whispered something to each other, and he said,
Suck your
I
dick
trust
tonight."
you. I trust you to not lose my mask in this tournament.
My
And that was-
mask. Which
So
mask? Was he
cool.
talking about the mask on his little El Idolo? Or?
I don't
I don't know.
Ah.
I'll tell you this. Andrade, his English is so much better than it used to be. However, now he needs to work on his improv because he and CJ clearly weren't on the same page. It was a little awkward, but like she's just saying like, "Oh, you'll get more money." Like she just throws that out there like that, and he's not going with it. I don't know. It's just he still
I've
had
got
to
an
get
idea.
whispered after she said you get more money. Like, isn't
I've
that
got a
enough? Or
Well, I think since CJ's in his corner, I think I've got a new thing, a new gimmick for Andrade. First of all, cut the name Andrade, forget that.
What?
From now on, he's Fabio, the most beautiful mask in the cosmos. That's what he should be. Why not?
And his
He'd be
mask
"Look
should
at
be handsome.
me." Yeah, absolutely. And have a blonde wig over it. You know what I mean? Can blow back and shit. You can be like,
This-
"I'm Fabio."
See, this is exactly the kind of joke I hope Tony Khan doesn't hear, because we'll get Fabio
Why?
in 2 weeks.
does Tony Khan have Fabio money? Can he
Imagine
match that?
dude.
I can't believe it's not butter money.
Or he comes down like Shawn Michaels, like the boyhood dream has come true.
I
But
can't
it's Fabio
believe
with the
it's
hair
not
flying.
WWE.
And then he
Oh,
gets
boy.
hit with a seagull or something.
And he dies.
That'd be good.
The most
All
beautiful
of these
man
are
in
good
the
ideas.
cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What's next, Chris?
Next up is the Kings of the Black Throne of elevated darkness and witches and stuff. They beat the boys, and it was just a
Which
quick.
boys?
It was just a quick one.
Those boys.
Oh, those boys.
The
Well-
boys.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Eran. Yeah, that every time he writes that, it reminds me of the Simpsons character, you know. Hello,
Nick
everybody. Yeah.
Eran.
That's what goes through my mind every time I see that.
Hello. All right. There's a promo for the TBS title match. Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue, and
No,
they all
Hart.
said words.
Sky.
Sorry. Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, and Dark Sky.
That's
They
better.
all said words.
Words.
Yeah.
Very,
I'm giving you all of the energy that they gave me. Words.
What was the Statlander had a go home line.
She did.
Did she? I missed it.
She said she rhymed her name with it. She's like, it's gonna take more than that to beat Stat or something like that.
Oh.
So she's like, my name is Stat, and I go Brett. Is that what she's saying?
It's gonna take more than that for you to beat Stat. But
that's almost word for word it, no joke. But I think it was slightly different. Yeah, that was her go home. But I wasn't really caring about that.
It didn't take more than that to beat Stat.
It didn't? Oh shit. Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, it was I was just excited to see Dark Sky. She's definitely part of the show now since we have invented this. And when she does change her name to Dark Sky, and she will, we can claim all the credit for it. That's the beautiful part. Well, there's another beautiful part, but that's one of the beautiful parts
I was gonna say
about this whole situation.
There's at least one other beautiful part, you know what I'm saying?
What? Wow. Was she
I mean, she chops well. Shut up.
That's right. Overhand. Wahoo McDaniel style.
Yeah.
Oh. Wahoo. It sounds like a movie.
Sounds racist.
Sorry.
Jimmy, you had something you were saying.
McDaniel. Sorry. You know what? I forgot. Because Young McDaniel. Hey, true. Good one. Young Daniel McDaniel. I forgot what I was going to say. Honestly, that threw me off.
Okay.
It really did.
McDaniel Garcia. That's what they should do. Hey. That's his next gimmick. McDaniel Garcia.
Wahoo
Wahoo Garcia. Sounds like a freaking McDonald's burger at this point.
McDonald's burgers are better than Daniel Garcia.
Someone get on 2K23 and make this happen right now.
But does he have a burger head, or is it Wahoo McDaniel's sort of head?
Do they have a Daniel burger? Garcia's Do they have body? Like a Mayor McCheese in the character creator?
You can. No shit. You can make a burger. You can. Ronald McDonald's in there. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Grimace, the Hamburglar.
Really?
I'm telling you.
The whole McDonaldland crew is all available as costume parts?
Yeah, man. I'll kid you not. Even
they should have sponsored it.
Some of it's not like super believable, but you can get like
do it pretty real.
Like a big round head, right? As like a mask,
like a big baby,
right? Or just like a big round part, right? And then what you can do is you can like layer it so that it looks like a burger, right? And then it's just a round thing, but it looks like a big burger head. It's you can do a lot of stuff with 2K. Like honestly, 2K's creation is like the best part of
in any video game.
But it's the best part of that game too. Like I can just sit there and create funny fucking characters for an hour and like completely just enjoy myself and think it's funny, and then never do anything with it. Never actually go have a wrestling match.
It is seriously the best creation suite in any video game by far, in my opinion. You can pretty much create anything and everything.
Okay. Well, someone needs to create Mayor Dark Wahoo McDaniel Garcia then.
I'll do that. You know what? I did create a Bin Hamin a few years ago that was pretty public. Actually, it was a damn good one too. I could show you. It's lifelike. Actually, me, Bin, Stevie, GGP, they literally told me step by step how they wanted to be created.
I made a Bin Hamin like 4 years ago, and I posted it on the Facebook page. And this was before we were podcasting with them. And I'm pretty sure I made Bin cry because he was fat.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, no way, bro.
Wasn't like fat, but he was,
what did he say?
He's like Bin Hamin size. You know, he's a big, like Bin Hamin is not going to be a thin person, right? He doesn't have the body frame to be thin. Look at me. Okay?
Oh my God.
I can't be thin either, right? Like thin is not a thing that this frame can be. I am a large person, right? Doesn't matter if I lose all of my extra weight, I'll still be a big dude. It's the same thing with Ben. If he was absolutely if he was 4% body fat, dude would be a jacked monster. He would not be thin. He would not be skinny. That is not in Bin Hamin's physical makeup. But maybe I made him a little fatter than he really is. So Ben was very upset. That was like 4 years ago.
Did he really get upset though? Like, legit?
I think he was kind of like. I think his comment on it was, "Wow, Well, I guess this really tells you when you need to go see Stevie about the workouts.
Oh,
I was like, oh
shit.
no.
Damn. Damn.
I
Oh,
felt
I didn't know that. Oh, you should. I'm joking. But that's funny. That's actually quite funny.
It is
Actually,
kind of funny.
can I show you? I got to show you guys how I made bin. Like, I'll get to it in a moment. But I think I was pretty impressed with myself at the time. But yeah.
Right
and this
on.
was W2K19. I think I did it at the time.
Yeah, I think the
I do wanna do
2K19
the new
version
ones.
was pretty good. I do actually like think I remember seeing the version you created, which was super good.
Did you?
But anyway,
Oh, really?
yeah. But anyway, while Jimmy's looking, we can talk about the TNT title #1 contenders match, which was a
Can we?
4-way
You
match
can?
between Trent Beretta, Penta El Zero Miedo, Brian Cage, and Commander.
Okay.
Commander Underpants?
Two things. Number one, I watched Rampage first. So I was like, because I didn't realize it was a Friday collision. I didn't even think about it. So I watched Rampage first, and I saw Trent come out, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
And then I went and I went back, and then I was like putting it together in reverse, kind of like a Memento situation. I was like, "What is this? Oh wait." So he won a contenders match to get in that match. I just didn't pay attention to, and then and so I saw this. So that's number one. That's a funny story. The second part is Commander has no coccyx now. Like that outside the ring superplex off the ropes that Brian Cage gave him, there was nothing to break that fall. And Brian Cage, whether through negligence or just pure assholery, which he doesn't seem like that big of an asshole, he just suplexed him directly onto his pelvis from the ropes, and the poor kid had to get in and bump a few more times after that. But that's all I could see out of this whole mess. That was my takeaway, is that this man has now has a powdered pelvis.
Powdered pelvis, a delicacy in the Philippines. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think it was probably just Brian Cage, like picturing. He was like, well, I can't technically do this to Aubrey Edwards for Wednesday, but I'm gonna pretend this is Aubrey Edwards, and I'm gonna hurt this person. Did you see Wednesday? Were you watching Dynamite? That
was the Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name street fight, right?
Yes.
Except it should be called the company that erased its name.
So I mean, yeah, I saw it. What did Aubrey do?
Okay. So at one point, they were using glass bottles, right? Because like nothing screams pro wrestling like glass bottles. Woo, glass
Real
bottles,
glass.
right? So cool. So there was glass all over the fucking mat, right? And and so there's glass all over the mat, and they're moving around. You can tell they're getting set up for the finish of the match, right? You're like, okay, the finish is coming, right? Like, it's one of those matches, right, where you're like, oh, I see through everything here, everything. I can see every fucking thing that's about to happen. So you're watching it, and you've got Brian Cage, who, if you can tell me somebody with a better physique and a better just overall look than Brian Cage, like, it's going to take you a minute to tell me, because Brian Cage looks like exactly what you want a professional wrestler to look like, right? That dude is a monster. He is a mountain of muscles, right? Now, the referee for the match was Aubrey Edwards.
Well, maybe a hill of muscles, but I get it.
Okay, a very large hill. Aubrey Edwards is standing there. Well, there's glass everywhere, right? And Aubrey Edwards is doing that thing where she's like looking around, right? Like kind of like a chicken, right? Where her head's kind of going this way, and then her head's kind of going this way, and she's not looking at any of the glass that is strewn about on the mat, right? None of it. She's not paying any attention to it. She's just doing the.
She's blind.
Am I in the shot now? Am I in the shot now, guys? Guys, am I in the shot? Am I on TV? Look, am I on TV now, guys? Am I on TV? Do you know who I am? I'm famous because I'm on TV. Meanwhile, a mountain of a man who just looks like one of the best fucking looking pro wrestlers on the planet is down on his knees moving the fucking glass off of the mat. And I'm left going,
Deleting.
what the fuck are you doing there, Aubrey? What the fuck is your job? If not, to just clear the fucking mat every once in a while. If you can't just clear the fucking glass off the mat every once in a while, but the guy who looks like a fucking superhero has to be down on his knees clearing the fucking glass out of the way so that they can set up for the finish is doing it, what in the fuck do you have a job for?
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah. Who cares about that?
I-
I thought that was going somewhere else. It's nobody's job to clear the glass. You shouldn't break the glass in the spot where the finish goes. That's number one. Number two, you should just do the finish on the glass because that's how it is now. And yeah, there you go.
And number three,
you shouldn't suplex Commander onto his pelvis.
And number four, you shouldn't be the worker having to clean the glass. God damn it.
All right. As far as this four-way match goes, I am going to do exactly what I did on Wednesday as we reviewed the Young Bucks versus Commander and Pentagon. So this is just what I do now, apparently, when Pentagon and Commander have matches.
Can you...
Flippity-doo-dah, flippity-yay.
Flippity day.
My, oh my, what a no-selling day. Plenty of bullshit coming your way. Flippity-doo-dah, this shit was gay.
Hey.
Thank you.
Wow, you got canceled twice in the same.
Boys, can I quickly show you what I did back then? Just briefly.
All right, hurry up, Jimmy. We don't have time for
Here we
this
go.
foolishness. Oh my
There's
God,
my
who's
GGP.
that? That's Stone Cold
That's
Steve
GGP.
Austin, right?
Yeah, Stone Cold. There's been,
Whoa.
but yeah, he actually liked it back then. But Stevie, I could have done better though. But at the time, and there's one more I've been, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I could do better now, but that was years ago.
See, Vet said flattering, as in that's not what Bin's body actually looks like.
No,
Just
I
saying.
know. He
Just
wanted
saying.
me to do that.
I
He
made
actually
a
wanted
realistic
me.
version.
He made. He actually wanted me to do that legitly. Making more of a tank. Hey, look, it's a video game. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian Cage, Ben Cage here. Yeah. That's the kind of physique that can sweep some glass off the mat.
Anyway, Trent won.
Oh,
Wow.
he did? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
Huzzah. All right. I guess we'll take a minute to talk about the pay-per-view. Just a quick minute to say nothing happened on the pay-per-view. They've been building up this whole devil thing and who is the devil and what's the devil going to do and
There was
where's
no
the devil
devil.
going to be. And that not only did we not get a reveal, the devil didn't even show up.
Devil was busy, Chris.
Should
He had to go. He had to go for dinner.
Okay,
with
real
his
question.
demons.
Real question for you guys.
No.
Should he have? Because we want people to tune into the programs too.
Mm-hmm.
True.
They never advertised that a devil would be revealed at this pay-per-view, so they were selling the pay-per-view on the strength of the card and the builds, such as they were. Okay. If the people already paid and you get a devil reveal, on the one hand, that says, damn, I could have seen that. I should have bought the pay-per-view to all the people that didn't.
Mhm.
But then you're going to get maybe more intrigue if you can hype this up. Like if you do this on the post pay-per-view, which all the people that didn't watch the pay-per-view will be like, well, I didn't watch the pay-per-view, but let me watch the show and see what happened. And then maybe here you can do it. You know, perhaps that is the thought process there. I don't know what they're going to do, obviously. I have no inside info. But maybe due to the fact that there were so many, other underwhelming aspects, or just we expected maybe surprises. I don't know. I don't know what the right move is per se.
Yeah,
there's an argument to be made either way.
It's a hard thing to know what to do, and part of it is because they're struggling right now with viewership, right? Like, if they weren't, if the fucking show was cooking and everything was just moving right along and they were growing viewers and or even if they were maintaining at like 1.5 million or something, right? Even 1 million viewers, if they were maintaining that, steadily going forward, you could, I think that the argument would be an easier one, because at that point, a bad decision isn't the worst decision in the world, right? If your business is going well, right? But they are struggling. They're struggling to get anybody to watch anything other than Wednesday night, right? Their other two shows are dropping off a fucking cliff, right? The viewership is just going to shit. And even Wednesday, you're starting to see way more and more and more people involved in pro wrestling who are going, and this company doesn't seem to get it, right? Like, they just don't seem to understand what they're doing. And you're starting to see that from more and more mainstream people, right? When the show first kicked off, you had people like, Kevin Nash, Dutch Mantel, right? People who, they have opinions, but they're not Jim Cornette either. Like, neither one of these guys is Jim Cornette. They're not just going to hate something because fuck you, I hate you, right? They needed to be convinced that this show sucked. And all of those kinds of people from the professional wrestling landscape are now talking about AEW and going, what the fuck are these guys doing? Right? So you're getting less and less positive reviews from the people who are, even in that level of like, hey, like, I just want to make money and wrestling's kind of fun and I'll talk about wrestling for the fuck of it. Even those kinds of people are now starting to go, man, AEW needs work. Like, they need to fucking fix something already. So when you've got this situation where you have something where there's some intrigue, right? Who is the devil? People actually are interested in who is the devil, right? The problem is twofold. One, you need to actually make it somebody who's interesting, okay? Because I swear to Christ, if it's Adam Cole, everybody's just going to collectively groan, right? That's still what I think is they're going with. I still think it's Adam Cole.
I don't know. So many people in the comments are saying Britt Baker. It's not Britt Baker, guys. Come on now. God damn it. Anyway, I just want to say that
it's a fine idea, but how do you pay that off?
Well, I was going to say, I personally think it's MJF that's the devil now. But I haven't watched Full Gear yet, so I just want to know one thing. Is it true that... Oh, no, don't worry. It didn't happen. The devil didn't even appear. It doesn't matter.
Didn't even
show
up.
There were people saying that someone showed up and done a GTS, and then they're saying it's Kenta suddenly.
No, that's
I don't know.
Nonsense that you're reading on the internet, right, Jimmy. There was no GTS.
This is on Twitter. On Twitter. That's what people fucking arguing about.
Fucking Liz, it'll be Osprey. God damn it. I hope it's ostrich spray. I really do. That would be great.
Ostrich spray is too good, but I like it. Yeah. Look, I truly think it's MJF. Don't be surprised if it's MJF and Adam Cole. They're part of it. Who knows? But I do think it's MJF.
And Roderick Strong. It was
Strong,
Roderick
baby.
Strong all along. No, I told you, man, it's gonna be one of those situations where the mask slowly comes off and it's Tony Khan and he's like, it was me, Max. It was me all along.
You know what? There are people that actually think it is TK also. So I mean,
stop it. Nobody thinks anything. They're all just saying stuff. Okay.
Yeah. No one else has opinions.
Sake of stuff.
Now here's what I think.
There we go. Well,
I don't know who it is because it doesn't matter. Wait, who would I book to be the devil if I was I wouldn't.
Who's the devil?
This is a weird hypothetical because this assumes that I just get the book and the pencil shoved in my hands today.
Yeah.
Like as if I would have done anything like this leading up to it. I would not have made any of these decisions. I would not have put myself in this position to have to get myself out of this position. So,
However,
yeah.
You're hired,
However-
vet. Fix it.
Okay, all right.
Fix it now, damn it.
So this is what I think they will do, and I don't know if it wouldn't work. I think they're gonna go with the Scream ending, if you know what I mean.
What about the part where she's like, "What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?" Do we get that?
That's I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm talking about.
Oh, you're right. It is. Damn.
I'm talking about the Scream ending where there's two killers.
Two of them. There's two of them.
Yeah. That's
Right.
That's true.
Now, if MJF is the devil, it doesn't make any sense because there were times when he couldn't have done what the devil did.
Because
Like,
it was in the
who
ring,
was the
right.
devil? Who was the devil beating up, the Acclaimed and all that shit? Like then,
Could it be
So-
his former Dynasty members?
well,
In
what
Richard Holiday and,
but he's not. Wasn't the devil there beating him up or supervising? So he
That's
couldn't have
true.
been there because he was in the ring. So you could do a thing where he's the devil because he's been the devil, but does that
Right.
mean he was is there two devils?
the devil. I mean, there could be.
Are there warring devils? Like MJF is his own devil like he's always been, but somebody else is framing him as the devil, so they're not working together, but they're working at the same time?
It could be.
Or, what kind of Scooby-Doo thing is going to happen here? Which,
This is
by the
compelling,
way,
Vic. Stop
as
it.
you, as you say,
Scooby-Doo.
Jimmy, just quietly, Dark Sky's been dressing like the Scooby-Doo van. Have you noticed that, right? Okay.
She
So-
has. We pointed that out on the skirmish, actually.
So that's awesome. But anyway, yeah. So I guess that's a way that you could go because people won't kind of be expecting that. You could go with the Scream ending and do the two simultaneous devils. So it could be that way you could bring in a team of people or two people that have history that you're now bringing to be as a team. Like, let's say it was Taven and Bennett, for example. I'm just throwing the name out there. I don't know if the logistics work, but if it was them, then that could be like they were both the devil at different times to do things. I don't know. So shit like that. I'm just throwing that out there. Not like a good idea, but as a team that's somewhat related to the situation with Adam Cole, whatever. It could be Roderick Strong. It could be lots of people, but there is no really good, satisfying answer other than if somehow, like we talked about last week or whenever it was, like if it was actually Punk, if it somehow was Punk and they worked us all for like a year and a half or whatever, then that would be crazy that they did it. It still wouldn't make sense logically, probably, and they would still find a way to make it lame, like in the presentation, and it would be very phony pro wrestling. But just the idea that they worked us that hard just to say they did it doesn't do anything good for the wrestling business, doesn't really do anything good for the fan base, but for the industry sort of analysts, insiders, whatever you want to call, whatever we are, then we can say, well, that never happened before, and that's about all we can get out of it. So to answer your question, Aaron, I don't know. But yeah, that
To answer your question, Aaron, it'll be Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Here comes
Or
the
could it
mic.
be the fake Sting? Do you remember that Sting
Yes.
where there was a million Stings that came out at the same time?
Is that guy still
with
alive?
Sting? I have no idea. That's a good question.
It'll be the Black Scorpion.
Yeah. It could be Stung.
Ollie Anderson?
He's gray now. But the Black Scorpion.
Holly Anderson. Oh, boy, is he still alive?
Yep.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
What about
Aaron,
Bill Watts?
to answer
Could
your
it be him?
question, sorry, to answer Aaron's question here, why not use a woman and have Britt Baker or someone else?
But why, though?
You
Like,
can't
why
pay
would you
that
use a
off.
woman? Right.
You can't
Like,
pay that
why?
off. The
Yeah,
point is, the
you
point
said
is
that earlier,
eventually-
Chris. I was going to say the one thing of all the crazy shit that AEW has done that they haven't really done that much of is a lot of intergender stuff. So at least they haven't done that. Impact
would
does more than
be
that.
Truly awful. Like they're gonna have a real. I'll tell you this. Like if it is Britt Baker, they're gonna have a lot of people going, "Oh, this is brilliant. It makes so much sense," and blah blah blah. No, okay, whatever. I don't care. I'm not. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but I'm not gonna fucking argue with people on the internet about stupid shit that they think is true. Because if I did that,
people
I would be
fucking think
I
that,
would be
dude,
on the
legit.
internet all day.
Maybe it's fucking nails.
You have to move forward where somebody who's been
I
fucked
see what
over
you
by
did
the
there.
devil winds up with a match, right? They
Right.
have to have a fight at some point.
Yep.
I really do not have any interest in seeing MJF and Britt Baker in a fucking wrestling ring. I know people are going to say, "Oh, it's 2023." I don't want to fucking see it. I
Well, the
don't
people
care.
do, Chris.
No, I don't think they do, Jimmy. I really
Why
don't
are
think
people saying this shit?
because people like to say shit on the fucking internet, Jimmy. Like people say that people say that Macedonia is a country on the internet, Jimmy. It
No,
doesn't
it's
make
not.
it
Stop
true.
it.
It doesn't
Stop.
make it true,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Okay. People
Spot
say all
on.
kinds of nonsensical shit on the internet.
Well, why do people play the lottery? They're hoping that they strike the right number.
That's true.
If you throw out a bunch of names, somebody's got to be right, and then they could say, "I knew it. See, look at this tweet. Look at the date on this tweet. I said it." That's the reason they're making guesses. Nobody has a logical reason for what they're guessing.
Well, but like this says, it probably will be, unfortunately for us. If it's not MJF, in my opinion, then it's got to be Jack Perry.
Oh God.
Hey, at least people will really shit on him real hard. Who have that X-Pac heat and think that's heat, like legit.
Well, now that we've depressed Chris, I, as far as Collision goes, I'm gonna give it a D plus. They're fine, I guess. Like you didn't completely bomb everything, but I really had to sift through this to find anything.
What was
that
good about this show, Chris? Really?
As much as Vet didn't like it, I thought that the Christian promo was kind of funny. I do like the fact that he compared himself to James Harden, just because I'm a sports fan and I know how much everybody fucking hates James Harden right now. And the fact that Christian was just like, "Yeah, I'm James Harden." It was like, this guy's great. It was The Office funny for me.
Dark skies, Aaron.
Her ass wasn't on the show though. Her cleavage was, like she had her boobas pushed up, but that that's it. She didn't turn around.
She was the mystery van.
Ass and titties. Ass and
The mystery.
titties.
Ass and titties.
That's pretty much it. That's it. Christian was kind of funny, and I got to see some boobs.
Are we that, like, has the standard become that low, boys, that, like Vet said, really it was one of Christian's weaker promos in many ways, but
Right.
that's how bad this show is, that we think that, Christian's promo was so good, when really deep down it actually wasn't.
Yeah, I was
lazy.
just comparing it to his usual promos.
Right. It's really
it was
not
just kind of a lot of
yeah.
It was just kind of a lot of nothing. It would be perfectly acceptable if the rest of the show was like you said, Chris, cooking, or if it doesn't matter if Christian doesn't hit 3 homers out of 4 at bats in his promo, but because everything sucks so bad, this was barely a highlight, and compared to some of the other promos he's done.
Exactly. You're comparing it to him. If Daniel Garcia cut that promo, you'd be like, wow, good for Daniel Garcia.
Main event,
that was
Daniel.
good. Yeah.
Main event. Wahoo McDaniel.
Main event, Wahoo McYoung Daniel. Mayor McDark Wahoo McYoung Daniel. What's your grade, Jimmy? What grade do you give this? You give it an F?
I give it a W for Wahoo.
W for Wahoo.
I give it
Yeah, for
a
Wahoo.
capital
That's
M,
what I give it.
lowercase c.
A comma as well. But yeah, it's a W for Wahoo. Because this shows a bunch of Wahoos, man.
Yeah.
Really. So, but if you want to translate that W, it's more than likely a D.
All right.
Oh, that's very
Yeah,
generous.
for Daniel.
Bet.
For Daniel.
Oh shit, the star has arrived. Now we're getting ratings. So yeah, this is a F. This is a complete F. To use my a la carte, I didn't order any of this. This menu is unrecognizable to me. I've been coming here for how long has this show been on, guys?
Around the ring on Wednesday. It was in Japanese, and you couldn't recognize anything.
It was?
I can read some Japanese. This I can't read. How long has the show been on? When did the show debut?
21 weeks, Vet.
21 weeks. I've been coming here for 21 weeks. Okay. I don't see anything on this that I'm used to ordering. Did you change this whole thing overnight? Not one person I wanted to see was on this show. Like there are certain people I expect to see.
True.
Except
right.
for, now wait a minute. Did we just cut out half the show? Where was the part where the Jay White interview where MJF came and beat the shit out of him?
Wasn't that Rampage?
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
that
pretty sure
was.
it was.
So this was this ended with the MJF interview with Renee.
No, that was Rampage.
No. One show ended with MJF's interview. The other show ended with Jay White's interview. Rampage ended with Jay White's interview. And then MJF came and did all that stuff, like you said. This one, the closing line for MJF, he said something like, the chances are slim and none, but, luckily for you, Jay White, I like those odds. That's how this went off the air. But the last thing we talked about was...
There was 2 shows on, Vet.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep up and tell the difference.
But I felt like a bunch of stuff got missed here, but I wasn't that excited to talk about it because I basically, like I said, didn't order any of this. So you can take it back. Take it back. F.
Right. Well, it was terrible. Jimmy, where can the people find you?
At this point, you can find me on the X at DJ Mass Effects, and you can find us at the PWC Network. As per usual, like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, where $5 not only do you get the realest, but you get the best talk in all of wrestling, and HamimMediaGroup.podbean.com for our affiliate shows, and of course the PWC Network.podbean.com for all our other shows. And that's about it, man. I feel so deflated after Collision, shall I say.
Which is exactly how everyone else who watched it felt. Vet, where can the people find you?
At Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. You can find me on Hameen Media Group every Wednesday live at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez. You can find me live every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the Impact Attack with Brandon. And you can find Wrestling with Rip Rogers every Friday at noon for a live Q&A, noon Eastern for a live Q&A. And you can find Stevie Richards all over the damn place doing every damn thing. He's got 3 channels going and he puts out videos all the time. And he's also trying to get Ben Hameen's 2K character on a fitness program.
This is one that is.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yours is fine, Jimmy.
Also, Retro Rocket Review. It's not the song isn't lonely. It's I feel lonely, oh so lonely. You got to get the line right. Anyway, this is okay. There's a bunch of stuff being said, but it's just repeatedly said. Oh, because it's Jimmy typing stuff. Okay, never mind. Go ahead and read the chat. It's Ray or Jimmy Ray or Jimmy Ray. That's what it is. It's Jimmy Ray. Saying stuff on there. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at ChrisAmbs1. You can find me on the PWC Network and right here on channelattitude.com for this show and whatever the hell else we feel like doing. Jimmy and I will be back at some point here today to review Full Gear, which was empty of both people and content. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. We love you. And it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Olay.